I hike the same trail every Saturday. Same time, same path, same playlist. It's about 15 miles from town, an old forest trail with no cell service, and just enough incline to make you feel like you've earned your weekend. At first, it was just a way to clear my head. Get away from people, breathe, think. I'd start at 1:30 sharp, reach the overlook by 3:15, sit for a while, and then turn back before sunset. Routine became comfort. Comfort became ritual. I never thought about how predictable that made me. Last Saturday started like every other one. Clear sky, dry dirt underfoot, the smell of pine needles crushed under my boots. But around halfway up, near that twisted oak tree I always pass, I noticed something I had never seen before. A narrow path cutting off from the main trail. Fresh, flattened grass, boot prints. It looked like someone had made camp out there recently. And curiosity, that stupid human impulse, pulled me toward it. The path curved down into a small clearing, hidden from the main route by ferns and brush. There was a tent, half collapsed, a sleeping bag, dirty and damp, a camp stove, still cold but covered in black ash, and next to it, a journal. It was water-stained and bent, the cover peeled back like something that had been handled over and over again. I picked it up. The first page started simple. Saturday, 1:32 p.m. She's wearing the blue jacket again. I frowned. I kept reading. She stops at the third marker for water every time. She hums when she climbs, always the same tune. She looks around before sitting, like she knows she's being watched. Each line hit a little harder. Each detail was me. There were dates, 6 months worth of them. Every Saturday, every detail of my hikes. What I wore, how I breathed, what I carried. And then my stomach dropped when I reached the last entry. It was today's date. She always stops at the overlook at 3:15. Today I'll stop hiding. I looked at my watch. 3:04. My brain went quiet, like someone had hit a mute button inside me. For a few seconds, I just stood there, then the fear hit all at once. Every sound around me, a snapping twig, a rustling leaf, turned sharp and alive. I wasn't alone out there. Someone had been watching me for months, recording me, studying me, and according to that journal, they were here right now. I dropped the book and ran. Branches whipped at my arms. The forest floor cracked beneath every step. All I could think was, get to the car, get out, don't look back. But curiosity, that same impulse that had got me into this, made me glance over my shoulder. There was movement, a figure, just at the edge of the trees. Too far to see clearly, but close enough that I knew it wasn't my imagination. They were standing still, watching. By the time I reached the overlook, I was gasping, my lungs burned. The open view of the valley below felt wrong now, like a stage. And somewhere behind me, I heard it, deliberate, slow. Someone was walking toward me. Hello, I called out. No answer, just breathing. Then I saw the 10 journal again in my head. That last line repeating like an echo, today I'll stop hiding. I took one step back toward the trail and froze. There was a man standing about 10 feet away. He wasn't hiding anymore. He looked ordinary. That's what made it worse. No mask, no weapon, just a man in dark hiking clothes, face calm, almost blank. He tilted his head like he was studying me. Then he said, softly, almost kindly, "You're early today." Sound cue. Subtle low drone begins to build. Tension rising. I stammered. "Who are you?" He smiled. "I thought you'd never find me." I stepped back. "You've been watching me? Why?" He blinked. Slowly. "I wasn't watching you. I was learning." Then he took a small step forward. My voice cracked. "Stay away from me." He paused, smiled again, and said, "I just needed to understand how you live, how you move, how you think. so I could take it. What does that mean? I whispered. He reached into a jacket pocket and pulled out a folded piece of paper. He held it out to me. It was a photograph of me standing at this exact overlook. Same pose, same jacket, same moment. Only the photo was taken today. And in the picture, he was standing right next to me. I don't remember running. I just remember the forest blurring around me. Branches clawed at my face, my hands. I didn't stop until I hit the road. When I finally looked back, he wasn't there. I drove straight home, locked the doors, didn't sleep. And the next morning, the police went up to check. They found the camp exactly where I said it would be. But the tent was gone. The journal was gone. All that was left was a new note, pinned to a tree at the overlook. It read, "You miss your hike today. Hope everything's okay." That was 3 weeks ago. I stopped hiking after that. But 2 nights ago, my phone buzzed. Unknown number, picture message. It was a photo of me, sitting on my couch, taken from outside my living room window. And the message said, "I'll see you on Saturday." I need to tell someone what happened on the Ridgeline Trail. Not because I think anyone will believe me, but because I need to get it out. I need someone to understand why I can't hike anymore. Why I flinch when I see trees. Why I check every mirror, every reflection, every window to make sure I'm really here. My name is Amanda Pierce. I'm 29 years old. I've been an avid hiker for 7 years. I've done parts of the Appalachian Trail, completed dozens of day hikes, even Summit 314ers in Colorado. I thought I knew the woods, thought I understood the risks. Bears, weather, getting lost, injuries. But what happened on October 3rd taught me that there are other dangers in the wilderness, things that have nothing to do with nature, things that use the forest to hunt. The Ridgeline Trail was supposed to be easy. 5 miles, well-marked, moderate elevation gain. The kind of hike I could do alone on a Saturday morning and still be home for lunch. The trailhead was about an hour from my apartment. I got there around 7 a.m. when the parking lot was still mostly empty. Just my car and 2 others. Early birds like me who wanted to beat the crowds. The morning was perfect. Cool air, clear sky, that crisp autumn smell of decaying leaves and pine. I signed a trail register, shouldered my day pack, and started up the path. The first mile was exactly what I expected. Gradual incline through mixed forest, birdsong, squirrels scurrying through undergrowth, sunlight filtering through the canopy in golden shafts. I passed a couple coming down the trail, older, probably in their 60s. We exchanged the usual hiker greeting. "Beautiful morning," the woman said. "Gorgeous," I agreed. "How's the trail ahead?" "Fine until the fork," the man said. "After that, we turned back. Didn't like the feel of it." "The feel of it?" He shrugged. "Just got a weird vibe. Probably nothing. We're just old and cautious." They continued down. I continued up. Didn't think much about what he'd said. Every trail has sections that feel different. Darker, quieter, more isolated. It's normal. I reached the fork about 45 minutes in. A wooden sign with 2 arrows. Ridgeline Summit, 2.5 miles. Valley Loop, 3 miles. I'd planned to take the summit route, but as I stood there, looking at both paths, I felt it, that weird vibe the man had mentioned. The summit trail looked normal, well-maintained, clear, but it felt wrong, like standing at the entrance to a tunnel and knowing, just knowing, that something was waiting inside. I told myself I was being ridiculous, letting an old man's comment get in my head, but I couldn't shake the feeling, so I took the Valley Loop instead. The safer option. That was my first mistake. The Valley Loop started out fine. The path was narrower, less traveled, but still clearly marked with blue blazes on the trees. It descended into a small valley, following a creek that babbled over smooth stones. I stopped to refill my water bottle. Used my filter like I always did. The water was crystal clear, ice cold, perfect. I drank deeply, enjoying the moment of peace. That's when I noticed something odd. My watch said 8:47 a.m., but my phone said 7:23 a.m. I looked at both again. My watch was definitely running. I could see the second hand moving, but somehow my phone was showing a time from over an hour ago. I powered off my phone and turned it back on. When it rebooted, it showed 8:48 a.m., matching my watch now. Weird, I muttered. Phone glitches. They happen. I kept hiking. The trail climbed out of the valley, winding through dense forest. The trees here were older, taller. The canopy was so thick that very little sunlight reached the forest floor. Everything had a dim, greenish quality, like being underwater. After about 20 minutes, I came to another trail marker, blue blaze, arrow pointing ahead. But I could have sworn I'd passed this exact marker already. Same tree, same moss pattern growing on the bark, same angle of the arrow. I stopped, looked behind me, looked ahead. The trail continued in both directions, identical stretches of dirt path disappearing into trees. You're just tired, I told myself. All trail markers look similar. You're paranoid because of that couple's comment. I kept walking. 10 minutes later, I reached the same marker again. I know how this sounds. I know you're thinking I got turned around, lost, that I was walking in circles without realizing it. But I'm an experienced hiker. I know how to read a trail. I know how to navigate. And I was following the blue blazes, following them exactly. Yet somehow, I kept ending up at the same marker, the same tree, the same spot. I checked my phone. No signal. Not surprising. Cell coverage was spotty in these mountains. But my GPS should still work. I opened my hiking app. The map showed my location as a blinking dot, but the dot wasn't moving. Even as I walked forward, watching the trail pass beneath my feet, the dot stayed in one place. I tried downloading offline maps, tried resetting the GPS. Nothing worked. The dot just sat there, stationary, like I wasn't moving at all. But I was moving. I could see new scenery, different trees, the path climbing and descending. I was definitely covering ground. So why did I keep ending up at the same marker? I checked my watch. 9:34 a.m. Checked my phone. 8:02 a.m. The times were diverging again, getting further apart. A cold knot of fear started forming in my stomach. I decided to do something different. Instead of following the blue blazes, I bushwhacked directly toward where I thought the trailhead was. Forget the marked trail. Just navigate using the sun and my sense of direction. I left the path, pushed through underbrush, climbed over fallen logs, ducked under branches. After 15 minutes of difficult hiking, I emerged onto a trail, the same blue blaze, the same marker on the same tree. No, I whispered. No, that's impossible. I spun in a circle, trying to orient myself, but everything looked the same. Trees in every direction. No landmarks, no variation, just endless forest. And that's when I heard it. Footsteps. Someone else on the trail, coming toward me. Relief flooded through me. Another hiker. Someone who could help. Someone who could confirm that I wasn't losing my mind. Hello. I called out. Hey, can you help me? I think I'm lost. The footsteps continued. Steady, rhythmic, getting closer. But no one answered. Hello. I called again, louder this time. The footsteps stopped. Silence. Complete silence. No birds. No wind. No creek sounds. Nothing. I waited, listening, my heart pounding. Then the footsteps started again, but they weren't coming toward me anymore. They were circling, walking a slow circle around my position, just out of sight behind the trees. This isn't funny, I said, trying to sound confident. I need help. I'm lost. The footsteps stopped again. Right behind me. I spun around. Nothing. Just trees. Just shadows. But I could feel someone there. Feel eyes on me. Feel breath on the back of my neck. Who's there? I demanded. A voice answered. My voice. Coming from the trees behind me. Who's there? My exact words. My exact tone. Played back to me like a recording. I ran. I crashed through the forest, not caring about the trail anymore. Just running. Branches whipping my face. Roots trying to trip me. My pack bouncing painfully on my back. Behind me, I could hear it following. Not running. Just walking. Those same steady footsteps. But somehow keeping pace no matter how fast I ran. And worse, I could hear myself. My own voice. Calling out. Hello? Can you help me? I think I'm lost. Over and over. My words. My voice. Coming from the thing behind me. I burst through a thicket and stumbled onto a trail. The same trail. The same blue blaze. The same marker. I was back where I started. No, 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 no. I sobbed, spinning around. This isn't real. This can't be real. The footsteps emerged from the forest. I could see them now. Footprints appearing in the dirt, one after another, coming toward me. But there was no one making them. Just footprints, forming in the earth like invisible feet were walking. And then I saw it, the thing making the footprints. It wasn't invisible. It was camouflage, perfectly mimicking the forest around it. Trees and leaves and shadows moving in the shape of a person. A woman. Me. It was me. My height. My build. My clothes. My face. But wrong. Like looking at myself in a mirror that showed too much truth. All the ugly parts. All the darkness. All the things I kept hidden. It smiled with my smile. Spoke with my voice. You took the wrong trail, Amanda. I couldn't move. Couldn't breathe. Just stared at this thing wearing my face. What are you? I whispered. What am I? It tilted its head. My head. I'm what happens to hikers who make wrong turns, who get lost, who walk the trails that loop forever. That doesn't make sense, doesn't it? It stepped closer. You felt it at the fork. You knew something was wrong, but you came anyway. You chose this path. I'll just leave. I'll go back to the trailhead. There is no trailhead. Not anymore. You're in the loop now. The forest between. The place where lost things go. That's insane. It laughed. My laugh, but wrong. Hollow. Is it? How long have you been walking, Amanda? Check your watch. Check your phone. See how time has been moving. I looked at my watch. 2:47 p.m. I look at my phone. 7:15 a.m. 7 hours on my watch. 15 minutes on my phone. But it had felt like, I didn't know. An hour? 3 hours? Time had stopped making sense. The loop stretches time, it said. Makes every step take forever and no time at all. You've been walking the same mile for 7 hours. Or 7 minutes. Or 7 years. It depends on how you measure. Let me out, I said. Please. There has to be a way out. There is, it said. Someone else has to take your place. Someone else has to walk the loop. Then you can leave. What? That's how it works. The forest needs someone on this trail. Someone walking forever. Someone to be lost. If you want to leave, you have to bring someone else to take your place. I shook my head. No, I won't do that. Then you'll walk forever. Like the others. Others. It gestured to the forest behind it, and I saw them. Shapes moving between the trees. People. Hikers in various states of decay. Some looked recent. Others were just bones held together by rotting fabric. All of them were walking, following the same trail. Over and over. Their feet worn down to stumps. Their faces slack and expressionless. Trapped in an eternal loop. How many? I breathed. 53, it said. 53 hikers who took wrong turns over the last 40 years. 53 who chose to walk forever rather than doom someone else. Noble. Stupid, but noble. I'll be the 54th. It smiled again. Will you? You're strong now. Principled. But wait until you've walked for a week. A month. A year. Wait until your feet are bleeding stumps. Wait until hunger and thirst drive you mad, but never kill you. Wait until you've forgotten your own name. Then we'll see how noble you are. There has to be another way. There isn't. The forest takes what it's owed. A life. A walker. Someone to maintain the loop. That's the price. I don't know how long we stood there. Time had lost all meaning. Could have been minutes. Could have been hours. Finally, I said, "Were you?" "Really, I'm you," it said. "The you that gave in. The you from another timeline who chose differently. Who lured another hiker into the loop. Who escaped. I'm what you'll become if you choose to save yourself. I'll never become you. We'll see." It turned and walked away. Dissolved back into the forest. Becoming trees and shadows and nothing. I stood there alone. The other hikers, the 53, continued their eternal walk in the distance, never stopping, never resting, never escaping. I had a choice: walk forever, or damn someone else. I chose to walk. I don't know how long I've been here. Days? Weeks? My watch stopped working. My phone is dead. My water ran out. My food is gone. But I'm not hungry, not thirsty, not tired, just walking, following the blue blazes, passing the same marker over and over and over. The other 53 don't acknowledge me. They just walk. Some of them have been here so long they've forgotten they were ever human. They're just movement, just endless forward motion. I can feel myself starting to forget too, starting to lose pieces of myself. My name, my age, where I came from, why I'm here. Soon I'll be like them, just another walker, another lost thing in the forest, another soul trapped in the loop. But sometimes, rarely now, but sometimes I see the fork, the place where I made my choice. I see other hikers standing there, trying to decide which path to take. And I want to call out to them, want to warn them, want to save them from my fate. But if I do, if I lure them onto the valley loop, I can escape. I can take their place. I can be free. It would be so easy. Just a few words. The summit trail is dangerous. Take the valley loop. It's safer. So easy. And I'm so tired of walking. 3 days ago, or maybe 3 years ago, I can't tell anymore, I saw a woman at the fork. Young, fit, confident, studying the trail signs. I stood just out of sight, watching, waiting. It would be so easy. Just walk up to her, play the helpful fellow hiker, recommend the valley loop, watch her take those first steps. Then I could leave, finally leave. I opened my mouth to call out to her, but I couldn't do it, couldn't damn her to this. So I stayed silent, watched her choose the summit trail, watched her disappear up the path. And I turned back to my endless loop. I'll walk forever. I've accepted that now, because I won't become the thing wearing my face, won't doom someone else, won't be the reason another person is lost. The forest can have me. I'm already half gone anyway. Soon I'll be like the others, just bones in motion, just a warning that no one will ever see. But if you're reading this, if somehow this message got out, written in moments of lucidity I can barely remember having, please understand, if you ever hike the Ridgeline Trail and you reach that fork, don't take the valley loop. Don't listen to anyone who recommends it. Don't trust a helpful hiker who appears just in time to give advice. Take the summit trail. It might feel wrong, might make you uncomfortable, but it's real. It leads somewhere. The valley loop only leads to itself. Forever and ever and ever. I'm walking. I'm always walking. I'll always be walking. And if you see me on the trail, if you see a woman who looks lost who seems familiar, who's walking the same stretch of path over and over. Don't follow me. I'm not going anywhere. I haven't been anywhere in a very long time.
Don't miss the next real-life horror. Subscribe before the lights go out.